Thank you, my brother and my sister. It's good to hear all the regional managers and all the names. Some of them we've been working together for more than 20 years. And the next session I'm going to talk about is a little bit of a practical session where we from Judea head office or HQ, whatever you want to refer to us, call us, would like to establish again our partnership that we have with you and the reason why we exist and how we can help you extending God's kingdom wherever you are. And again, I also want to jump back to what Pastor Kula has referred to. This is not the one or the other. So we are going to talk in this session about tent church planting and house church planting. So it's not the one or the other. We're talking about current situations and being church in the current challenges that we have. And that might reoccur in the next 5 or whatever years it might be. So I'm going to draw you a picture here on the whiteboard. So we have a head office, which we refer to as Judea Harvest. And we have personnel in that head office working full-time. Some of us have been working there for 20 years. Some of them have been working there for 10, whatever the case may be. But just right here, and this, we refer to this as RMs, Judea cannot operate and exist without the regional manager. We have the regional managers. We have you. And you've been selected to selectively invited to this webinar, and it's not an open webinar. It's not everyone is welcome, and the specific reason for that is that we're working with these regional managers, many of you, for so many years, and we know you in person. We've been on house, and we've been doing all kind of things over the last 20 years. And let me say again, thank you for allowing us to serve you. We wouldn't have been able to do what we do over the last number of years without you and without your support and without your partnership. So we work with you to the registered deans. That's just another title for people that is a little bit closer to us, but you are the closest. And then through to the student, or you can also see it this way. We work through the regional manager to the pastor, to local pastor, and you influence the pastor and eventually have an influence on the church. So over the years, what have we done, and what was this partnership that we were working together? What was on the table? A lot of things we did, and we tried out, and eventually we came to about 4 pillars, 4 things that was the main focus. And one of those things was tent church plants. And I don't know where that number is now, but it must be close to 4,000. Am I right? If not more? Cornelius? At least 4,000. 5. Man, 5,000 tent church plants over the years in 17, 20 African countries. There was a time that the heartbeat of Judea was evangelism. And we used these tents as a plow, as a preparation tool, resource to prepare the area and do tent church plantings. Eventually it turned into tents and church tents. And we're still doing it. And we're not going to stop. Remember what all of us has been saying, it's not the one or the other. What we can see, though, is that the focus over the last year has gone down with regards to tents. But we still do it. And thank you that we could serve you over the years. And then eventually there was another leg, which was church buildings. And Kula, our colleague, Pastor Kula, was talking about church buildings. And again, he said, it's not the one or the other, but we should change the focus away from making it the main focus and turning it into community centers, which I love. People will always need an address together in groups, large groups. But church is not that focus point. Church is home cell. Church is smaller groups. Only 2 or 3, that's church. And the point and the thing that we heard all over this morning was looking at the building doesn't make you a church, but looking at the structure or the example that we find in the Bible, that really makes you a church. But there will be buildings. There will always be buildings. There will always be, call it community centers. And we will quite a number of those as well. And there's a process in the Judea Harvest team where you dial up, you mail, you apply, you get a lot of paperwork to complete and to fill in. There's a lot of red tape because there's money involved and there's rules and regulations involved. And that process sometimes takes a lot of time. And then eventually the building gets put up and turn it into a community center. Then there was another time which we focused on training. And you remember there was the 10 program where we registered the deans, more than 300 of them, thousands of students registered, close to 25,000, 55,000 completed courses, and that was the main focus on the training. And now we're doing the MBC John Journey program, and we're going to talk about that now, and a kit we would like to offer you during the COVID period. And then there's another focus or a leg, and which is the Judea Hope department. And all this forms one ministry with all these departments, with the departments heads, and Judea Hope focus on food packaging events, helping those in need, and also with ECD training, offering accredited training when it comes to early childhood development. So that's all in one package. And through the years, the Judea Harvest has been working through the RM to get to the church, to get to the pastor, to get to the students, to get to those in need. And the RM played a vital role in all of this. And thank you for being a partner with us in, establishing the kingdom of God in your local area and your local community. So let's talk about the training offer that we would like to offer you in the current situation that we have. Over the years, Judea Harvest has developed a training curriculum which we would call the John Journey course. That is in a book form, and we still have that book today. And this book is still in circulation. Let me just get it. And interesting is that in West Africa, it seems to be easier to accept the church in the house concept, the smaller group, than what it is in Southern Africa and Eastern Africa. And over the years, more than 100,000 pastors completed this John Journey course. And that course is still available. So we were talking about the original John Journey course. And I said that more than 100,000 students, especially in West Africa, completed this course. And that John Journey workbook is still in circulation. People are still using it. It's a small book that covers the three areas, our heartbeat, which is evangelism, discipleship, and house church planting. However, the John Journey work progressed over the years, and 20 years later down the line, we have the John Journey in 2 sets that comes with 3 books per set. So the first book, which is still in circulation and available, covered, evangelism, discipleship, and also then house church planting. All of that has been turning into 3 workbooks. Now it's separate workbooks. So evangelism is what you heard yesterday, sharing Jesus. So that's one workbook within that first set. First set's got 3 books. Following Jesus, which is a discipleship course, also available in a book. And then the house church planting book, which Pastor Kola referred to earlier, this is the 3rd book in that section. And we would like to offer that to you as a set, a training set kit to when it comes to the COVID-19 challenges that we have. But we're not going to send that set alone. We also would like to add and throw into that set, depending on how many people order these sets, at least 10 or between 5 and 10 of these New Testament Bibles, hard copy Bible. We also would like to include into that the audio Bible. Make a copy of the assignments, either a hard copy or a WhatsApp photo, whatever the case may be. He makes sure that you as leader, the regional manager, or the deans that you have appointed, or the pastors that you have appointed, gets the assignment. And then he pays another 250 Rand. And over the next 4 to 6 months, he carries on with studying. Now he digs into the mini Bible college program. He goes online, he prints the book, he starts with a Sermon on the Mount. There are 24 lessons, 30 minutes at a time, once a week. He listens in a group. They print the booklets, they complete the booklets. And once that is done, we are looking at the first year, and he gets back to the regional manager or the pastor that you have assigned. He pays his final 250 Rand, and that goes for a graduation ceremony locally, where he receives a ACRP CPD accredited certificate. So where does the 750 Rand go? That's the next question. 350 Rand of that 750 that's been paid by the student or the pastor or the new pastor stays with you, the regional manager. this is the way we would like to assist you and to encourage you to help us to roll out this program, because how else and what other method are we going to use for training with the challenges that we have at the moment? This is what we have, using new methods and new systems to empower people. So 350 Rand stays with the regional manager or the dean that is running this program. 100 Rand must go towards the ACRP CPD certificate. That doesn't come free. It's a official Christian body empowered by the government. They sign up, we sign up with them, and they hand out the certificate, and that certificate registration, everything costs 100 Rand. 100 Rand goes for the workbook. We have paid quite a lot of money for this workbooks, and you can see it's high quality printed. We've worked many years on these workbooks. Doesn't come overnight. So for the printing and everything, 100 Rand goes towards that. 50 Rand, administration, that comes to Judea head office, which make it possible for us to mail and make phone calls and do all these kind of things. 50 Rand stays with the graduation. Again, for the local church and the local pastor that does the graduation at that time by the end of the year. And 100 Rand go for P&P postage and package, which will enable us to get all this in a box. If you live in Gauteng area, obviously you're going to collect itself. If you live in other areas, we're going to mail it to the regional manager and you redistribute it. And that's the breakdown of this package. I have a question here from Mozambique. Is this available in Portuguese? Some of the languages is available in Portuguese, yes, especially on the MBC unit. Some of the workbooks, when it comes to John Journey courses, is available in French, but mainly English, and that's what we have at the moment. Pastor Kula, I have said a lot because I was off for 2 or 3 minutes. Are we back online on that side? All right. Okay, I see our pastors are ready. So we're going to go back to them on the other side, and then we might come back for Q&A. Thank you so much, and God bless you guys.